Okay, so I'm gonna seem like a crazy person, but right now my kids are asleep, and so I've snuck outside so that I can answer some of your questions. Because if I do it inside, then I'll wake everybody up, and then there goes our time together. So, my other little issue I'm working on is I don't know how to do videos and convert it to social media. So bear with me. I may have to do this like 2 minutes at a time because I don't really know how long my phone's gonna let me go. And I don't even know if you can hear me right now because I'm trying to be so quiet because my kids are sleeping and I'm a really bad mom. Anyway, so to get to your questions, oh, ah, shoot. Oh, so my first question is actually by one of my favorite followers, Jill Stitos, I believe. Can you read that? Is it backwards? I'm not sure. Anyway, she wants to know what some of my favorite TV shows are right now, which is really funny because I was not a TV person growing up at all. I would do anything to avoid sitting down and watching TV. But now in my older years, running around with kids all day, I cannot wait to sit down and watch a show with my husband. So right now, the show that we're kind of working through is Band of Brothers, and it's pretty amazing. I actually typically prefer something a little lighter, something a little bit more fantasy-ish, but gosh darn, it really tugs at my heartstrings and um, really makes me reflect on my family. And my grandpa was actually a pilot in World War II, and he flew over 30 missions. And, just really makes me think of what life must have been like for him and having my grandma at home with 3 kids. And, it's just. It's really good for reflection, so I certainly recommend it. And it's Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg. I mean, who could go wrong? Anyway, that's probably my favorite show right now. I did like House of Cards, but we won't go there. All right, next question. At Jay Schwartz wants to know why I auditioned for road roles in the first place. Very good question, and I cover it in the podcast with Brain Candy. So I recommend watching that. Go track down Susie and Sarah and join their podcast, and I will answer that along with a couple other questions that have been asked. All right, next one. From Challenge Rewind. All right, there we go. It says, are you tempted to try for a daughter or baby number 4? If I was younger, I would. However, baby number 3 was a negotiation between me and my husband. That we were supposed to be done at 2, but I got my 3rd, and as he was right, it was another boy. So I am now a mom of boys, which I, at first thought, oh gosh, why does something awful have to happen to me? I'm supposed to have girls. But I love them, and they're bringing out this fun side of me where I was never, I was a cheerleader for football, but I didn't know what was going on. And so now I have this 10-year-old who studies the stats. He reads all the books. He could spout off like any stat, new player, old player, he knows it. And so it's been really fun getting more involved in football. You see that I tweet about the Seahawks all the time. I don't really know what I'm talking about, but it's fun to kind of learn and explore and find something to connect to my boys on a whole different level. It's awesome. I love being a mom to boys. I'm sure girls are fantastic, but I'm really getting used to this boy thing. Next question. At T. Goodwar, another good follower of mine. It says, how did you meet your hubby? I met him at 24 Hour Fitness, and it was totally unexpected, and my aunt absolutely embarrassed me. Totally embarrassed me, and I covered that in the podcast as well. So, again, track down Brain Candy, go sign up, listen to the podcast. It's I hope it's worth it. I know their stories are all worth it. I don't know about my interview. It's kind of goofy, but all the podcasts that I've heard and seen from them are quite hilarious and thought provoking as well. So go check it out. Oh shoot, I've dropped more. Okay. Tina Barspall. So she asked, what has brought you into social media? Because I'm kind of just jumping into this, right? And she said, was social media prevalent during the Road Rules days? No, it was not. I am a child who was born before the internet. I know, crazy, right? So when we had our season, if you wanted to know what people were talking about, you went onto MTV and you logged on under your MTV name and you would snoop the chat rooms. I got into so many fights with people. It was horrible. And actually it kind of triggered like a depression where I kind of got sucked into this rabbit hole, this abyss of just, pain and torture. And I did it to myself. I didn't have to go there. I didn't have to read what people were saying, but, people were really, really mean. And so, I dropped off. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to see what people were saying. I wanted to pursue a career in acting. And so I just didn't think that seeing that negativity in my face was really helpful. So I took a break and I tried to do some self-discovery. Like I said, it was in a big time depression. I lost myself for a couple years there. It was really scary. But I found myself, found my husband, found a new career, have these wonderful kids, and this life that I love now. So, my oldest is 10 years old, and he's kind of, he's got his own Google account and starting to get to the age where he's going to be on the internet. And so I kind of want to know what's out there. I want to know what this Twitter is. I want to know what Snapchat is. I want to know what Instagram is. I want to know whatever the next thing is so that I can, monitor and be in with it. Oh, I think I'm out of time. Hold on.